Hello, my beautiful second act sisters, and welcome back to Conversations with Dora. This is the space where we talk about real life, not the filtered, highly curated version, but the real, messy, hilarious, heart-expanding journey of being a woman who still only lived a little, learned a lot, and still has so much more to say. I'm Dora, your host, your cheerleader, and your very relatable former people pleaser who once said yes to planning a baby shower, leading a school fundraiser, and looking after a neighbour's dog all in the same week, because I thought no was a dirty word. So today we're diving deep into something that so many women carry quietly, sometimes for decades: reclaiming your voice after years or even a lifetime of people pleasing. And if the thought of that makes your throat tighten a little or your heart whisper, "Oh my God, that's me," then sweetheart, you're exactly where you need to be. Let's start here with a little truth, gently delivered. People-pleasing isn't your personality, it's your protection. It's a beautifully adaptive survival skill you likely learned early and have perfected throughout your life. In psychology, this is often referred to as the fawn response, a trauma response where we avoid conflict and gain safety by becoming overly accommodating, agreeable, and self-sacrificing. Now, trauma doesn't have to mean something huge or dramatic. It could simply be a repeated experience of feeling unsafe being yourself. Maybe you had a critical parent. Maybe you were the good girl who got praise for being quiet, helpful, compliant. Maybe you were the emotional glue in a family full of cracks. Maybe being liked became your lifeline. And so you learned, if I'm agreeable, I stay safe. If I don't make waves, I'm lovable. If I anticipate everyone else's needs, I don't get abandoned. That's not selfish. That's brilliant survival. But now, it might be suffocating your truth. Let's bring in the science. According to research in personality and social psychology, chronic people-pleasing is linked to lower self-esteem, chronic anxiety, and difficulty with assertiveness. And here's why. When you constantly defer to others, your brain literally prioritizes external validation over internal regulation. You become wired to check how everyone else feels before you even register how you feel. Your nervous system learns that disagreement means danger, that saying no means rejection, and that being honest is too risky. And with time, your own voice, your intuition, your preferences, your boundaries all begin to feel fuzzy, foreign, and forgotten. But here's the good news. Your voice isn't gone. It's just buried under layers of social conditioning, survival instinct, and emotional fatigue. It's still there, waiting, like a good friend at the airport, holding a sign that says, "Whenever you're ready, I'm here." So let's get practical. People pleasing doesn't always look like a pushover. Sometimes it looks like the go-to girl, the capable one, the reliable friend, the one who never asks for help, never complains, never rocks the boat. It looks like apologizing before you've even done anything, giving up your time, energy, or sleep to help someone, even when you're drowning, smiling when you want to scream, hosting a dinner you didn't want to host, baking a cake you didn't want to bake, saying yes to something that made your stomach sink. It even shows up in conversations. I don't mind. Oh, whatever works for you. It's okay. I'll just manage. Does that sound familiar? And then resentment creeps in. Exhaustion, emotional burnout, sometimes even rage, quiet and internal, that bubbles beneath your smile. Not because you're weak, but because you've been holding back your truth for so long, it started to hurt. Let's talk about the how, because I promise this doesn't require a dramatic outburst or quitting your life and moving to run a vineyard in Tuscany. Though tempting, it starts with small, loving shifts. The first one, pause before the automatic yes. In that tiny pause between request and response is where your power lives. Try this. Let me check and get back to you. Or, I need a moment to think about it. You're allowed to consider before committing. Notice the guilt reflex and breathe through it. Guilt will come up. That's normal. It doesn't mean you're wrong. It means you're growing. And name what you want, even just to yourself. Take time to journal or reflect on, what do I actually enjoy? What feels like a yes in my body? And where do I feel resentment building? Your voice is strengthened in silence before it's ever spoken aloud. Speak those small truths out loud. Try saying, actually, that doesn't work for me. I need to rest tonight. I'd rather not. Thanks for thinking of me, but I'll pass. The first time will feel clunky, awkward, maybe terrifying. But the second time, a little easier. The third, liberating. Celebrate the boundaries you keep. Every no to something misaligned is a yes to you. And that, my friend, isn't selfish. That's sacred. Let me say this clearly. You don't have to be loud to be powerful. You don't have to become hard to be heard. You don't have to change who you are. You simply need to return to who you were before the world told you to quiet down. Your voice matters, even if it shakes, even if it's soft, even if it takes time to remember. You deserve a life that includes you, your preferences, your limits, your joy, not just the role you play in other people's stories, but your own script, your own spotlight, your own full volume moment. Thank you so much for sharing this time with me. If this episode made you feel seen, or helped you take even the tiniest step back toward yourself, I'd love for you to follow and subscribe to Conversations with Dora. And remember to ring the bell so I can let you know when another episode is ready. Leave a kind review. It means the world to me. And share this with a friend, a sister, a mum, someone who's learning to find her voice again too. You can find me on Instagram at @DressWithDora. Come and say hi and share what reclaiming your voice looks like for you this week. And please remember, you were never too much. You were never too sensitive. You're not here to be palatable. You're here to be powerful. I'll see you next time. With love always, Dora.